And we are live. Hello, guys. It's a nervous day for everyone. Let's see how this game goes because I am not happy with this. I'm not happy with three at the back. I don't like three at the back. So let's see how it goes. Let's pull up. Let's get this. Let's get these tweets out. Make sure everyone knows we're live and we move. We're gonna. I still have a feeling. I like the fact that Bukayo starts. We're gonna go through the lineups, but let's see. Let's see how this goes. I'm nervous as hell. I'm very nervous. So um, let's see. Please let me know how you're feeling. If you're as nervous as I am, because I'm very very nervous about this. Right. So let's go through these lineups in a second. Give it some time to allow for some people to get in here. But let's see how you feeling. How people feeling. And, we'll get going. Go get the line. So it's looking like a 3-4-3. I mean, he's done it in the past, and it seems to have worked. And he looks like he's going for a um, pragmatic lineup in terms of to come up against the opposition he's facing. So I don't like um, I don't like this. I don't like Calvin Phillips and Declan Rice together. I feel it stagnates. I don't feel like we have enough ball progression in that midfield. It's a bit too defensive, but that's Southgate in a nutshell. Really. I don't mind Trippier and Walker together. I mean, as a right side, it gives you um, someone who knows how to play that right centre back position for England. He's done it in the past, and Trippier does seem to step up a level when he's playing for England. I'm very happy to see Shaw back. Shaw's done very well in this tournament, and this front line. I mean, personally, I don't know why he's not included DCL in the lineup, but we'll see. We'll see. I think Kane. We'll see how Kane does. We'll see how Kane does. Put it that way. So yeah, um, I want to hear some predictions. I want to hear what people think. I'm going to go through the Germany lineup as well quickly. So in terms of the Germany lineup, so yeah, so 3-4-2-1 or 3-4-3, similar to setup. You've got Ginter and Rudiger with Hummels, and you've got Cruz, Goretzka, no Gundogan or Gundogan. How do you say his name, guys? Is it Gundogan? Gundogan? Let me know in the comments. I think it's Gundogan, but we'll see. Goretzka is it Gosens and Kimmich. I like the midfield. I do like the midfield. It's Goretzka's a tank. Let's be real. He's Bayern did something to him. Their nutrition team got into him and they changed him into a bit of a beast. But Havertz, Muller, and Werner, I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. No Gnabry, I'm a bit surprised, but yeah, I think this will do pretty nicely. In terms of what the key battles of today are going to be, if you go back to that event team, it's whether, for me, it's whether Rice and Phillips can get onto Tony Cruz, because Tony Cruz is, as we all know, metronomic. He's someone that can really change a game in terms of controlling the game, controlling the pace, in terms of distributing the ball. So let's see how how we go. Um, yeah, so I think we're going to move on to. the main thing I want to talk about, which is Bukayo Saka. So Bukayo Saka has been, well, when he's played, he's been the standout player for England for me. I mean, he's been outstanding when he's played. He's been someone that I can totally see having a standout game today. Um, he's going to be someone to watch out for, and playing and making sure that he is the right winger shows that Gareth Southgate has understood that he is the best right winger at the club at this moment in time. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. I like Bukayo Saka. Obviously, I'm an Arsenal fan. I love Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka to me is someone that he's so good with the ball at his feet. He's very good off the ball as well. He's someone that can see a pass. He's someone that has a good shot in him. He's got composure. I mean, you can see goals in the Europa League that he scored that against, for example, Slavia Prague in the second leg, or you can see how he's progressed through the season. He is our player of the season for a reason, and yeah, I'm really excited to see what happens today. I think if it is going to be his day. I mean, it's going to be England's day. Then let's see. Let's see. I'm a bit curious about what people think about this three at the back, because three at the back is an interesting prospect, to say the least. So please come through. Let me know what you're thinking, what people are saying. I'm going to do a prediction maybe 5 minutes before it starts, so a couple of minutes from now. But I want to let people get in here a bit. So let's see. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. Right, let's have some water. Wait for some people to get in. Right, people already guessing about the first goal. Oh, I really want it to be Saka. Saka would be a great first goal, but I don't know why. I feel like I feel like it's going to be a dodgy Maguire goal or Germany goal in front, and then we'll have to pull it back somehow. I don't see it being a free flowing game. It's a three at the back formation battle. Both teams are going to go at it to try and play man for man and go at the other team. So the key battles for me are Gosens coming up against Trippier and Walker. I think that's going to be very key. I think Gosens is proven throughout this tournament that he's someone that we need to watch out for in terms of what we're doing what would Germany do in their build-up and in terms of how they're going to play. Predictions wise, I'm going to get onto that. I'm going to do some key battles first. But yeah, predictions from the main man CK, I'm going to get onto that just a couple of minutes before. Another key battle for me, as I mentioned already, Rice and Henderson against Kroos. Definitely a major battle. And on the offensive end for England, it's going to be how Hummels and that back line of Kimmich, not Kimmich, Ginter and Rudiger deal with Saka and Sterling and the pace of that they bring. Both are very good runners to surround Kane with, so maybe it'll free him up a bit. I'm just going to wait and see what happens with that. So, predictions. Oh God, I'm breaking it up. I'm going to be honest with you. I think it's going to be 1-1, and after extra time and then penalties, who knows? I'm going to go with my heart. I'm going to say 5-4 England penalties, but don't. I just see this being a game, a very attritional game. If you're expecting not a rock'em sock'em sort of battle, then you're going to be sorely disappointed. I feel this is not going to be the Spain Croatia game. This is not going to be the second half of that France Swiss game. This is going to be a rock'em. This is going to be a proper war of attrition. build up and slow build up, few chances, a lot of changeovers in possession, and a lot of stagnation in play. I don't think this is going to be a very good game to watch, to be honest. I think it's going to be one of those games where you're just nervous to sit through it. Yeah, let me load up my version of this game because it is a watch along. It's not a me watching SofaScore. But yeah, please let me know your own predictions in the comments. It's going to be one hell of a game. Question is, are they going to boo the knee now? Let's have a look. There's a lot of people there. There's a lot of people there. It's strange seeing people back. What do you guys think? It's strange seeing people back in the. How's George? George is at work. he's sound. He seems to be fine, guys. He was on the space yesterday. If you haven't checked it out or you missed the space, please check out the space. It was a very interesting conversation. Went a lot of different routes. Started off with me and CK reacting to that penalty shootout, which oh god, 3-1 England. Someone's optimistic. I hope so. If it's 3-1 England, I'll be over the moon because I think this is going to be it's going to be a low-scoring affair. I could see it being 0-0, 1-0, or 1-1. I don't see it being a high-scoring affair. Let's have a look. It's incredible seeing fans back. Just the atmosphere. I mean, I can't hear it because I've got I've got you guys, but the atmosphere it feels, you can just feel it irradiating from the screen. You can see the German flags, you can see the English flags. So it just feels like football again. It feels like football has indeed come home. The 2-1 England from CK, maybe. But let's see. My gut says 0-0 or 1-0 either way, or maybe a 1-1. I don't see more than 2 goals in this game. I see two very cautious teams. I think it's going to be a game of, as I said before, a game of attrition. Oh, by the way, guys, before we do get started with the stream, thank you for 300 subs. I mean, it's been what a month and a bit it's been. It's been an insane month in terms of growth, in terms of just personal growth, getting to know the guys, getting to know all of you. It's been an incredible journey, and to reach 300 subs, I'm humbled and I feel very blessed to be able to do this with you guys. So please, if you haven't subbed already, subscribe to the channel and like the video because we're just going to keep going. And I want a Saka goal too, Chris. Please give me a Saka goal. I want to throw some Saka prop on the timeline. How can I say this? I'm not gonna lie to you. Saka is my guy. I think he's everyone's guy at the moment for England. If you guys saw how the lineups got announced, the biggest cheer in some of these beer gardens was for Saka. I think everyone wants him. So let's hope. Let's hope. So how are we feeling, guys? How are we feeling? Let me know. Right. I'm gonna have SofaScore up, I think, because I'm gonna be referring to it back and forth throughout this game in terms of what's happening on the pitch and what I feel is gonna happen. I'm gonna load up the build lineup screen at halftime to show you what I feel is happening in this game. But for now, SofaScore is fine. I think the other thing I want to mention is I want to see how three at the back thrives. I want to see if it's three at the back formation. How are we doing? How is it going to work? Sorry about that. Significantly. Positive. Good. That's good. Right, and we're off. Let's have a look. See. Key thing for me is this England build up. How are they going to build up? Are they going to be positive? Are they going to get men in front of the ball, or are they going to be slow and passive? It's a good first ball out. Would you guys would have wanted to see Ben White here? I know. I mean, as an Arsenal fan, I wouldn't have mind seeing him, but I think Ben White. I mean, look at his back here again. So Maguire, Stones, and Walker. I'm happy with that. I would have liked to see White, but I can understand why. Come on, indeed. Let's see how we go. Lads. Because already we've got a foul. Oh, look at Muller. Just taking Harry Maguire out there. Do we like Trippier? I mean, I personally like Trippier on set pieces. He seems to be okay doing them for England. Let's see here. Oh, sure. Oh, it's not really very. It's not a good ball. Right. So, looks like a fairly easy start for both teams. No one's really pushing the action too fast a pace. A couple of duels, people getting their foot in. Oh, here's a nice little run here for Germany. Oh, that's a good ball. That's a very good ball from Kimmich. Kimmich is one hell of a footballer, by the way. Central mid, right back. He's done very well. He's a talent for sure, and he's going to be at the top of world football for a fair few years. Short corner. What do people think of Havertz, by the way? I think he's done okay in this tournament. I think he's had a couple of good performances. But I don't think. What minute am I on? What minute am I on? I am on 3 minutes 30. CK. Germany are putting it about nicely right now. A couple of nice passes put together. long shot. Goretzka's a tank, isn't he? Jeez, he's a real tank. Nice bit of build-up from England. I want to see them try and move up the pitch a bit. It's a sloppy ball. What are people's feelings about there being no Grealish, by the way? Are we upset? Not got no Chelsea players, are they? Yeah, I know that, mate. You're not Z. Z likes most of that team. He likes Jorginho to hell. So, keep it. I'm going to change my stream. Apparently, I'm a few minutes behind. Just bear with me. It's time to switch to Arabic, people. Even though I can't hear it. But Arabic commentary, if you've seen my mate HFoss4 on Twitter, his pinned tweet is some pretty funny Arabic commentary, to say the least. I want to see, here we go, Bukayo Saka on the ball. Nope, robbed. Oh, Pickford, I don't like seeing that. It's a bit rash. Oh, Sterling. What can you do, Raheem? Nah. Kane deep, Kane deep, Kane deep. Why is Kane so deep? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Is that a free kick on Goretzka? What do we think? Oh, it's a yellow card. Of course it was a free kick, but the yellow card where? Yeah, to be honest, me neither. I didn't think Grealish would start. But we move. We move. Yellow card on Rice. CK, what about Rice, bro? Maybe we'll get some guests on in a second instead of just listening to me waffle on for a bit. If you do want to come on, just message in the comments and I'll send you the StreamYard link, or I'll put it in the or I'll put it in the what do you call it? The comments myself. Yeah, it's not been a good start. What do you think, guys? Rice. For me, it would have been Rice and Henderson. I can see why he's gone for Rice and Phillips because that Germany midfield is something that you can get out physically. I mean, not Goretzka as much, but Cruz, you need to be able to stop him. You need to be able to control his tempo, and that's what Chelsea did. Not really a good free kick routine. What do you think, guys? Good start from Germany, though. I don't think it's been a good start from England. They need to get out there. It's been something that they've struggled at with in terms of increasing the pace of their play at this tournament. And then, you know what? I'm going to post this in the. I'm gonna post this in the comments. So if you want to come through, lads. Come through, say hello, and see what we think about this game, because it's been a bit dull so far. It's been a slow start, as I predicted. Couple of half chances. Another thing I've seen people saying is that the whole point, this whole the whole tournament thing that has been at Wembley, and it's been a bit unfair. What do you guys think? Do you think that's been a bit unfair on other teams that they had to come to Wembley, or oh, here's the name, man, Alex.
Hello, how you doing?
I am shitting it, to be honest.
I've just got back work. Well, I say I've just got back. I finished work at 4, and it usually takes me about 20 minutes to get home, and it took me 50 minutes. I was getting properly vexed in traffic. Oh God, just wanted everyone to move out of the way. Come on, don't you know this England game's going to start? But obviously, managed to get here just in time. How you doing?
This first 10 minutes has not been very encouraging. I'm not going to lie to you.
I was sorry to jump in there. I was just having this conversation with the colleagues before we left, and we were all thinking that the one thing that would probably the reason why England probably won't win this game is that they'll end up playing the occasion rather than just the game, if that makes sense.
No, totally.
Because
we've got the
if
boys.
You look at,
we've got all the boys in.
Oh yeah, Wave, here we go.
What's going on?
Oh, I'm bricking it. Are you not bricking it?
I kind of already accepted defeat.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, like this game is not for the weak-hearted. Let's put it that way.
I think also with France going out last night. I wonder if one of the players are thinking, if we just get past Germany, you know, I just don't trust England, even though we've got the players and they've all played at sort of the highest level possible. I just don't trust them to. I don't trust them to do it.
No.
Wait, mate, do me a favor. Can you turn on your TV a bit? You can hear in the background.
Shut up. What, can you hear the TV? Is it a bit loud?
Yeah. It's in the background.
I'm literally watching it in my front room, and I'm on my phone.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that this game is. I've been bricking it since that France game, to be honest. Like you could tell when I opened up the stream, I was just like, "Hi guys, it's gonna how we feeling?" It's just sort of like I'm on edge. I'm on my edge here. It's not a good game. This feels like an Arsenal game more than an England game. You know what I mean? It feels like we should. It should be one of those, like one of those Burnley games where you should win this. You should win this.
No, I don't think so, man. I think Germany have still got a quality side. You know, they've got dangerous players there. It's not like a Burnley game where the only real threat is like Chris Wood.
Not in terms of quality, but you should. I think that in terms of the squads that that both teams have, there's a clear. I mean, Germany do have quality individuals, but England have quality throughout that squad. Throughout that squad is packed and it's stacked. Like especially with Saka starting.
And do you know what? Looking at the pictures, I mean, you can only see sort of the bottom third, but the stands or the Wembley looks a lot fuller than I thought it was going to be.
100%. Which
only adds to the atmosphere, doesn't it? Which is great.
I mean, I was there. I was in Wembley yesterday because that's where I live in London, and the German fans were starting to aggregate there as well. So yeah, around the pubs and everything, people were starting to stream in. So it's always like that when it's in the international break or something.
Oh.
Yeah, that must.
For a change, Sterling actually struck the ball quite nicely.
Yeah.
Or what are your thoughts? Okay, so I know I'm a little bit late. You might have already covered this, Curran. But what are your thoughts on the actual starting formation? Is it? I take it it's a 3-4-3. I'm sure that's what it's gone with.
It's a 3-4-3 versus the 3-4-2-1. I think Germany have gone with Werner out and out striker, and they're playing Muller and Havertz a bit deeper to try and interact with the midfield. So it's a sort of 3-5-2, 3-4-2-1 hybrid sort of thing. If that makes sense.
Yeah. What do you think to that? Do you think that's the right move?
I think that both teams have decided we're going to go man to man. We're going to go because they're just going to go 3-back versus a 3-back and try and cancel out the opposition's build up. Try and block passing lanes and try and put pressure on them to get out of their own half. I was mentioning earlier, it's going to be. If you're expecting lots of goals in this, you're going to be severely disappointed because it's going to be one of those games where it's a maximum 1-1.
Absolutely, yeah. I think, and I'm pretty certain about this. This is going to extra time.
Yeah, me too. 100%.
I'll be surprised if it's a winner in 90 minutes.
Me too. Like I would say. I said to people just before you came on, it's going to be either 0-0, 1-0 either way, or 1-1. I don't see it going to 2-1 or beyond.
No. Yeah, you're right. There's not going to be many goals in this at all.
No.
I mean, I'm a little just thinking about it. I know it would have been out of character for him to do so, but with him playing that 3 at the back, I'm surprised. I say surprised. A cheeky shout for Ben White starting, to try and break.
That's what I mentioned before.
Try and break the lines, try and break Germany's. I imagine obviously Germany are going to be quite settled in their defensive shape, aren't they? So you need someone like Ben White who can potentially break out the shackles from or an organised bank of lines, So.
I mean, the thing is with Ben White is he's such a good terms of runner with the ball out of the back line, which Walker is as well. It's just that I feel like you get a bit more composure with White on the ball.
I think so.
Because like Walker has that fullback mentality where it's pace and I'm going to drag the ball with me, whereas White has that composure on the ball where you can see that he has that ability, that centre back awareness of what's happening on the pitch. It's a bit stereotypical, but you can see that he wants to get the ball into good areas. Whereas Walker is, I'm going to run down that flank. That's my flank. I'm going to run down that flank and get it and get the ball in because he has that blistering pace that available to him.
Well, so. This is going to sound. People are going to think, "Oh, you're only saying that because of the color of their skin," and it's totally not that.
No.
Walker is more of an athletic player than White. I say White's more of a football player, which is what you basically said. I'm not saying that Carl Walker's not a football player, but I just don't think his exactly his attributes. I just don't think Walker quite has the same IQ in terms of when to pass the ball, what his vision's like. Whereas White, he can see, as you say, he can break the line with a dribble or he can break the line with a pass. Whereas Walker is like, I'm quicker than you. I can kick the ball round you and off I go, chase after it and get there before you.
Yeah, I just feel like if you did go with Ben White in this game, it would have given you a better outlet out of the back line, which I think England are going to struggle with this game because unless Stones really is going to be that ball progressor, but he is the problem with that is he's the central defender, so he's going to need to be covered.
Yeah. So exactly, you can't do it from the central position. I mean, David Luiz when he played the sort of libero role, if you want to call it that. But the thing is, the difference obviously at club football, you can coach that shape over a number of games, can't you? Whereas this is like a one-off game. It's more difficult to coach your players to tuck in as he goes forwards and to steps into midfield. Whereas in as I say, one-off game. And I don't even think John Stones is that either. He's more of a ball playing defender in terms of he'll pass it rather than dribble with it.
Yeah, for sure. Like his passing range is insane. He's not someone that's gonna skill a man and then go run for a good 20, 30 yards. He's got that David Luiz type of passing range that he's gonna ping it about and go for it. So yeah.
I think I suppose the one who's most likely to potentially break the lines out of the three would be Harry Maguire.
Which is saying something with his pace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, takes a while to get going. It's like who does he remind me? Do you know what? He reminds me a little bit of. I mean, I'm not saying he's the same style, but in terms of physicality, right? Philip Senderos.
I totally see that. I never even thought of that, but I totally see it. 100%. In terms of good in the air, someone that will it isn't pacey, but does know how to get out of the lines, but has an error in him as well. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. I mean, he's better than Philip Senderos, obviously, but the profiles are not that different.
They're not different. Philip Senderos, it was until he got to Drogba. Drogba just he gave him mental scarring almost, really.
He saw dinner basically when he saw Philip Senderos.
He did indeed, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, Drogba was. I mean, do you remember the Essien goal at the Emirates, the screamer?
Is that the one where he kind of curled at the outside of his foot?
Outside of his foot, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, If you remember that goal, our defenders were so slow to step up to him. He had time to just line it up and just cut it like that. He literally literally took a couple of steps. He got it slided up to him, and he took a couple of steps and just shot it. And
that was sort of like the last few minutes, wasn't it? As well, wasn't it? I'm sure it was. Yeah.
Yeah, Bukayo does look on it, but
I was going to say he does. That's a very good point. I think Bukayo does look on it, and here I suppose this is going to be I think this is paying a tribute to him from the German players. You notice as soon as he gets the ball, they are kind of getting to him quickly. So it's not just he's not always left one-on-one. So he's going to have a difficult game here and it could be one of those games where people will be like, "Oh, Bukayo didn't really do much."
Yeah.
But when you actually look at it, he's been dragging away 2 or 3 players who could potentially create space for somebody else. I'm a bit surprised that Foden hasn't come back in.
I mean, the thing is, I was saying before with Foden, it depends on where you want to play him. He's not a right winger.
No,
if you're going to play him centrally, I feel like after half time, it might be, if it's still 0-0 and it's still going a bit like this, it might be an option to take Rice off and bring Foden on, especially with Rice on a yellow. So let's see.
Well, that's it. I mean, I never saw it as a case of either Saka or Foden. I always thought it should be Saka and Foden, but that was just my person. That was just my.
No, I completely agree.
Because Foden's one of those players who can who has the ability to unlock a defense either by dribbling or by playing a through ball, and he is
a good finisher. He's a very good finisher.
Yeah, he absolutely is. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Phil Foden. I really am. I mean, I've made that no bones about that.
Yeah,
in the group chat and.
Like with the thing with Foden for me is what I don't like doing is I don't like comparing profiles. I don't like comparing players because I prefer comparing teams and how teams work, because football is first and foremost a team game.
Yeah.
So I you can say, okay, a player is world class, or this profile of player is exactly what a certain team needs. But I don't like doing who's your top 5 wingers in the Premier League, because each team works in very different attacking formations and how they build up play. So it just seems like it's a bit redundant in terms of how you're going to class things. Unless you're going to have, would Bukayo Saka work in the Liverpool team, or would Mohamed Salah work in Chelsea or something like that? That I can see, I can understand.
And I feel that is a better conversation, isn't it? When you see, can you project this player actually doing
the same job,
job, or even better job in another team. You know,
another free kick here.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, England just got a corner.
Any thoughts on the first 25?
It's what I expected. Very cagey, very scrappy. I think it's just obviously the emotions are flying high.
Yeah, for sure.
And it just looks a bit potentially a bit disjointed. A bit disjointed. But it's already looking like one of those games where it's just going to be 1-0 from a set piece.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like England is going to be looking for a set piece in this game, and I think here we go. Oh, Raheem corner, got to be I think that's the one thing I agree with Southgate doing is bringing Trippier in, because he just gives you that set piece threat. Because he does seem to be on it for set pieces when he puts on the white shirt instead of an Atletico shirt. He seems to know what he's doing.
I tell you what, that's a better chance than it actually looked in real life.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, of all the players other than Harry Kane, you'd want that to fall to Harry Maguire.
Yep.
In that position,
I even think I would argue that you'd actually prefer to go to Harry Maguire, because if he does miss, then Kane can go for a tap in.
True. Yeah.
So I do. Look, Harry Maguire has his faults and he has things that he excels at, but I'm not going to doubt his aerial ability, because it is there. It's just the case of I just don't want another 2010 happening.
Well, I think on reflection, when you watch back that game, everyone will focus on obviously the Lampard goal that was given, the Neuer thing, which you can say. I mean, I think everyone can recognise Germany were a far better team.
Yeah, prime Ozil.
I do. Yeah, well, that's it. That was prime Ozil, because he joined Real Madrid that summer, didn't he?
Yeah,
that was he joined Real Madrid, wasn't it? So yeah, prime Ozil, Thomas Muller. You could say prime Thomas Muller as well. The fact that he was young. He was early 20s maybe. And yeah, Germany were the better team. However, I will say that I still think the 4-1 scoreline flattered Germany, mainly because England we were pushing for the equaliser, and we got silly and we got caught on 2 counterattacks. And that's where GameState can come in and it can make the scoreline not quite reflect the actual match itself.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I'm going to mention is, when was the last time you heard a commentator talk about game state, for God's sake?
Oh,
could you imagine talking about a commentator going on, okay, they're going to start from 3-5 at the back, and John Stones is going to step out. It's never going to happen. It's just a mental piece of it.
What was it you said the other day, which I totally agreed with? So when they go, oh, they need to up the tempo, and you're like, what do you mean by up the tempo?
Up the tempo, yeah.
Do you mean?
Yeah.
I guess what they mean is they need to pass. They say they need to pass and move the ball quicker. But again, how do you want them to do that? Do you want them to do that by direct dribbling? Do you want to do that by actually popping it off 1-2, zipping the passes, like really hitting it into each other? Not just up the tempo. It still feels like that's very back in the 70s kind of thing.
Like I don't like the word tempo. I like the word ball speed, because that's more how it actually is. Do you want the ball moving through the pitch quicker, or do you want the players moving around the ball better? Because that's more accurate. Because if you're for example saying that you want the ball zipped around on the floor and you want it through the air, route 1, that's fine. But if you want more off the ball movement, and you want players to be more available to receive passes, that it's a much more accurate way of saying, oh, that's a poor ball. Bukayo, man, that is a poor ball. And
it was, wasn't it?
Kane moved too early there.
Do you need to go to my front door? Bear me a second.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah. still think Gosens is going to be a bit of a threat here, guys. Pace is increasing a bit. Oh, Raheem. He's kept it in. Good lad. Go on, mate. Go on. Go on. Take on a man.
Right. Okay. I'm still gonna be here, but I'm just gonna turn my camera off because I've got some food in. So
yeah, go for it.
I'm just gonna just.
Yeah, no worries, mate. I'm sort of in the game right now. Like oh, Luke Shaw looking like a bit of a madman. Okay, fine. If we go out today, and it's a German-Czech semi, which is what I predict. I think the Czechs do the Danes, but
I haven't seen much of the Czechs. I haven't seen much or the Czechs and the Danes this because of work and not being able to catch the games at times when I've not been able to see them. But I've obviously the Denmark have done so well. I think to turn it around, obviously with Christian Eriksen, the fact that they lost that game against Finland, because that was a whole farce in itself. How ridiculous. UEFA just ordered them basically. You've got to play it or you lose 3-0. Yeah.
100%,
So they've turned it. Here we go. I'll tell you what. Fair play to Pickford there. So they've done really well, and I know is it Evan? He's very much on the Denmark are going to win the whole thing train, isn't he?
Yeah. He thinks it's the Greece 04. I think the Greece 04 is the Czechs. To be honest, they have they're more of a. If you talk about how they play the game, each team, the Czechs are very. They like the whole physicality of the game. They're in the game basically. They put their bodies about their physical team, and they're just someone that they have players that are not only strong and can get manhandle you off the ball. They have technical players like if you look at guys like Kufal and Holesh and
Souček.
Souček is the physical monster, and he does have that aerial ability as well as being able to play on the floor. And he is, let's be real, he's a leader. But there's a lot of there's profiles in that team that I feel you have to watch for. And if I'm Denmark, I take this Czech team very seriously because everyone. I mean, if you must have saw it in the chat, George. Everyone came at me for this Czech game. George was going off at me. Oh, Marlon's going to do him in. He's going to run wild. That's exactly what they need to do. I've got CK coming at me saying that the Danes are going to the Dutch are going to win this game. It's going to be quite easy. Everyone came at me. In the Euros prediction as well. Everyone said no way in hell. But
well,
it was a good game.
The one thing I'd say about the Dutch is that, they've got some good individuals. A, obviously they're missing Van Dijk, right? So they're missing their best player. And B, I just didn't quite know if the team dynamic was quite right, which obviously it bore out, didn't it? That's why they didn't win. And I love George. We all love George. I just don't see it with Malin. I don't. I think he's a little bit. I think he's a bit too lightweight.
Not just that, his finishing is not as good as people make it out to be. I'm sorry. He's a good finisher, but he's not as good as people think he is.
No, I agree. I just, I mean, I know there's obviously quite a few Arsenal fans out there who lament the fact that we let him go, we let Gnabry go. Was it Rene Adelaide? That sort of group, that class of youngsters, isn't it? Who's the other lad? The lad who went to Valencia, the American lad. Is it Musa?
Musa, yeah, and Amechi as well. Musa.
I've not really heard too much what Amechi's up to actually. Who he's playing, who he's at right now.
Yeah, I saw something yesterday, but I can't remember exactly what it was. But he was the one. Amechi. People thought he was going to be amazing, and I think, oh God, Harry Kane and Werner as well, both of them. I still don't get why people thought this was Kane's tournament. He's had such a tough year with Tottenham, and with the injuries he's had and the disappointment in that Carabao Cup, the manager changing, like, it's got to affect your mentality, surely.
Well, I think the move is playing on his mind. I think even though he's wanting to do well for the country and everything, I still think he's thinking, if I get injured, that's going to scupper any kind of move I can to get out of Spurs. It's just a thought. I mean, obviously I don't know if that's true and everything, but I think that's potentially playing on his mind. I think.
Yeah, I mean the dominoes are starting to fall in my eyes. I think, especially if Mbappe goes to.
Sorry.
No worries. Especially if Mbappe goes to Real, as it's being suggested now, I think there is an opportunity for them to go after someone like Harry Kane, and obviously they've got the link with Poch, and that's the guy who got him at his best form. So I know he wants that Premier League record, but I think he wants a Champions League and to win trophies more. And I think if he goes to PSG, he's guaranteed the league title, and he can at least win a league for once. And then we move from there.
Well, I don't know. That's exactly it. I mean, he could guarantee the league title, not necessarily guarantee the Champions League, though PSG have obviously done really well in the Champions League the last couple of years. Would he accept going to the French league? And now, I say this in terms of, I think the football community look down on the French league, though if you look at it, the French league is probably it's got a lot of young, exciting talent in it. Yeah.
I think if there's one time, if I'm a superstar and I'm on the last couple of years of my deal, if I'm a superstar on the last year or two on my deal, and I'm looking at clubs, am I going to go to a Barcelona or Real Madrid when they're broke and and they're starting to be on the decline? You've got Barcelona, literally, and both of them begging for the Super League because they're almost €1 billion in debt.
Yeah.
So, would you want to go to PSG where at least you're guaranteed to get your money? You're guaranteed to get enough money, and if you go there, it's a statement move. Look, Harry Kane's in Ligue 1. You can like when Neymar went to Ligue 1, you can attract that sort of endorsement deal. You can attract you can increase the prestige of Ligue 1, and you can turn Ligue 1 into something that is people watch more because the market is right there right now. There's so much talent there at the moment.
Absolutely. The other thing I can twist it, playing devil's advocate about Barcelona and Real Madrid, you could look at it as, okay, yeah, they're on the decline and they're a lot of money in debt. However, you could also be associated with bringing them back to what they were.
Exactly.
I suppose it all depends on how you view each, which is what essentially we as Arsenal fans and what Mikel Arteta and I imagine Edu are doing, selling the fact that, okay, yeah, Arsenal, we're not where we were. However, we have plans to get us back to where we were. And this is the project we're undertaking. Help us become awaken this sleeping giant sort of sell to players, And I feel like that, obviously, along with being able to pay the kind of wages that we can pay, and obviously the history of the club, along with that kind of message, I feel is a very strong attraction for any player wishing to make their mark. Is Harry Kane in that kind of stage of his career though? I don't know.
I feel like if he's going to make a big money move, it's got to be now. This is my. I've done the graft. I need to get my flowers. Sort of move for time for him. So,
yeah.
In terms of Kane, if you look at him today, he's had what? I mean, CK has mentioned it perfectly. 2 or 3 touches in 36 minutes, and then now it's 38 minutes.
Well, yeah, because usually he's dropping deeper, isn't he, to get on the ball, and he's been slated for that. And it seems like in this game, he's been, maybe because of the fact that we've gone, as you say, was it 3-4-3 or 3-4-1-2? He's been asked that he needs to stay up top and occupy their centre halves a lot more, therefore leading to the fact that he doesn't get as many touches in a game such as this because it's so compact. But when you get into Germany's final third, that their midfield and defence are not going to give you much room at all to breathe, really.
Mm. So this game has been. I mean, I'm struggling to think of things to talk about for this game. It's been such a. It's been very dull. Let's be real.
It's basically what we expected, right? This has been what we expected.
I'm going to look at some stats quickly because I want to see what's going on with this game. I mean, look at that. Look at that XG. 0.14 to England, 0.53 to Germany. So
and I imagine a lot of that XG for Germany was that Werner chance.
For sure. Both have 2 shots on target. Not really much in it. More tackles and interceptions and clearances from Germany, though, even though they've had more of the ball, which is a bit good. I mean, the ball has been played mostly in the. Let's have a look at the zones. I want to see the zones. Well, we're going to do this at half time, but I'm just curious because this game is just very sort of stagnant. Let's see.
Yeah. Do you know what? It's funny. A game like this, I think it is crying out for Sancho.
Yeah, it could be. You know, I think if you're going to go for it, I mean, my first instinct is to go for Foden. If I'm Southgate at halftime, I go for Foden on and Bryce off, and I play a 3-4-3 diamond, and I put Rice at the bottom and Foden at the top of that, and really, really, really push Kane up there, and have almost a 3-3-4 almost, with Foden playing that kind of Bergkamp role just off the main striker. So we'll see what happens.
I mean,
CK said it perfectly. Six touches in 41 minutes. He's not. Sorry, you were saying Southgate.
Sorry, as I have a mouthful of food. That move that you just suggested there would be so out of character for Southgate. It's almost guaranteed not to happen.
100%. Like I don't know why he's. I mean, I get it. You want it's tournament football. You have to be cautious and try and catch and seize on one or two key moments in the game. But if you're gonna just be there to just grind it out and try and get as little on the ball as possible. So I don't know. It just seems like one of those games. Like it feels like the opposite to yesterday. Yesterday was all excitement and drama. Today, this is just a grind them out.
Do you know what it seemed like? Yesterday was 4 teams going out doing their best to win.
Yeah.
I mean, I say that France under Deschamps not necessarily go out to win. They go out to. I think the way that Deschamps. Oh, hello.
Oh.
I thought I saw a red card in his hand. Then
no, okay. Me too. That's why I was a bit concerned for a second.
Let's have a look at it here. I mean, yeah, that's a yellow card.
That's a yellow card for me.
Yeah, I mean, he does.
Are they going to VAR it?
So is that Phillips and Rice both on the yellow now?
Looks like it, yeah.
That's it. Sorry, excuse my language. That's just brain dead football. That's just brain dead football. As a midfield player, That's not smart at all. And
No.
one of my best friends is a Leeds fan, and he absolutely swears by Calvin Phillips. So I hope he doesn't see this. But sometimes I question his intelligence.
Really?
Yeah, I
like with Calvin Phillips, I feel like he's someone that can have a great game, but sometimes he just looks he looks like he just doesn't know where to be on the pitch at times. If that makes sense.
That's it. That's it. And I wonder if it's something to do. What happened there? Why did he not shoot?
I have no idea. I have no idea what happened there.
Going back to Calvin Phillips.
Yeah.
Did he come through Leeds Academy, or was he someone who was at, say, like a Manchester United or a Liverpool, and then they let him go and Leeds picked him up?
I'm not sure. I'll look it up, but I think he came through at Leeds. Let's have a look.
Mainly because
Leeds United Academy graduate.
He's a Leeds United Academy graduate. Okay, so I wonder if the reason why he didn't quite go through, like, say, Liverpool, Man United, or Manchester City is that, as you say, at times he can look like he's a little bit lost.
Yeah,
and this is no knock on his on the ball ability. I mean, in this game alone, he's already shown that he can. He's got a good eye for a pass. He's got good range, and he more often than not, he will find that man. It's just, as you say, positioning wise, and he can get a bit reckless when as shown by that tackle on Toni Kroos. I don't know. I just want to see more from him. I don't know if that's fair. If that's a fair assessment to make.
Yeah, I mean, with Phillips, it's a case of you have to really see get number 9 out of my sight. Yeah, me too. Honestly, he's not looked like someone that I recognize, and he just seems like he's completely out on his feet.
Yeah, as someone who's been I've been someone who's been triumphing Harry Kane as being probably the best striker in the world. He's not exactly helped me this tournament.
No. It's not. I don't know. Honestly, I don't blame him, to be honest. I think that he's in a team that is. He's so used to playing that deep role for Tottenham right now. He's used to having runners go past him, and he can hit them, and that's how he's had the most assists this year. But I don't know. He just seems lost out there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's got no Son. I mean, I suppose the closest person to Son in this England squad would be Marcus Rashford, but Rashford seems so out of form right now.
Sterling.
I don't know. Sterling.
Kane. Oh. What? Oh dear, Harry Kane. No. Oh, almost.
I didn't realise you were that far behind.
Yeah, I'm quite far behind. Is it half time yet?
Yeah. So at the moment, for me, so I'm watching it. I don't know how you're watching it. Are you watching?
No, because I don't have a TV. I'm on iPlayer.
Fair enough. Yeah. So I'm watching it off the TV where I live, and yeah, it's been half time for about 3 minutes, 4 minutes.
For God's sake, I'm gonna have to sort this out somehow, because it's not okay. I'm like 3 minutes behind everyone else. That's not very good. Okay. All right, half time. Let's pull up some stats, eh? Let's see what we're talking about today. So, let's talk this up. Okay. So 0-0. Completely. In terms of like, it seems very very even. Two yellow cards, Calvin Phillips and Declan Rice, and then two yellow cards for us and one for Matthias Ginter. It just seems like a very average performance. Kane, even Saka's not looked very. I don't think this is Saka's worst game in an England shirt for me, and that's saying something because he's not been bad at all. He's been okay, but hit the levels that he's promoted in this tournament and in an England shirt has been something that has been commendable.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I just think, as you say, as we said earlier, it's like more a case of game state with Germany keeping it close. They recognise that he's a threat, so every time he picks up the ball, he's got 2 or 3 men are surrounding him, and he's also not been getting the ball fed into him a lot. I mean, Trippier and Kyle Walker haven't really picked him out too many times.
No,
and it's going to be difficult. And as I say, I can see him being taken off, and there are a lot of fans then digging into him, going, "Well, what did he do in this match? He disappeared." When really, it was always going to be a very difficult. And it sounds like I'm making excuses for him, but this is kind of how it is as a forward player in a game like this. It's always you're never going to come out looking good unless you score. Unless you score, you're never going to come out looking good.
No, you're not. I mean, with Bukayo Saka, it's a case of the player has to it's a team performance. It's not just one player.
Exactly.
I don't think the team hasn't been set up to accommodate Bukayo Saka in this game, not even slightly. So if you're talking about we've got one of the main guys here, CK is here.
Yo,
what we saying?
Yo.
I'm good. Did you see that Kane thing on the end?
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody in my house was shouting at Kane. Kane has been so bad. Nothing.
Have you seen Babs' tweet?
No.
So this is why Harry Kane didn't graduate through the hairline.
Oh my days.
God.
Kane is so annoying. They should have won Calvert-Lewin.
Yep.
He had to make this stupid tweet. Oh, see you at Wednesday.
Oh God. Yeah.
See you on Tuesday. Idiot. I mean, he's a joker, man. Seriously.
He is a joker, man.
That last thing, just shoot. Even if the keeper saves it, shoot.
Just throw a boot at it, for God's sake.
He didn't even shoot. And his movement has been poor as well.
Yep.
Calvert-Lewin should have been.
Why is he not even in the squad, man? What are they going to do now?
I don't know. Just tell Kane to change up his game.
Bro, he's going to throw on Rashford. He's going to throw on Rashford. What?
That's literally the only thing they can do. I'd rather have Rashford than Kane up top right now. And that's
me too, to be honest. Also, with this, with the whole situation right now in this game, I would honestly take one of Rice and Phillips off, to be honest.
You should at least switch them round, at least. Because
for me, it's Phillips. I think get Phillips off, bring on someone like a Foden.
Bellingham, Mount.
Yeah, we have so many players. Take both of them. We got 5 subs, Gareth. Take both.
And you get 6 if you go to extra time.
Yeah, so go for Henderson and Foden, and is Henderson in the squad, right?
I'll bring on Mount. Yeah, he is.
Yeah. Sorry, not Henderson. Bellingham and Foden. Sorry, in that midfield, and try and go for the game instead of having this stagnant midfield that has 2 guys on yellow cards right now.
Oh my, yes, they do have yellow cards.
So I mean, if you look at the Sofa scores, so that back line actually looks okay. What do you think about? I was gonna.
Maguire's been good.
Maguire's been good. What do you guys? What do you think about no White for Walker? Would you have had White?
Walker's not been bad, so I would have had White, but Trippier has probably been worse than Walker, in my opinion.
I mean, he's put some good balls in Trippier.
Yeah, but that's all on set. He's only done stuff on set pieces. Because...
And that's a key part of our attacking play, though. Set pieces.
That's what we've been doing. That's the only times we've got big chances. Apart from that Kane thing, it's been the corners.
Honestly, if I'm Gareth and it's 60 minutes and this is the case, I take off Kane.
Sancho looks like an idiot to me.
Yeah.
No, not Sancho. I mean Gareth.
Sterling.
Because he left Watkins, he left Bamford, he left Ings, and made Rashford second choice striker. It looks like, and so all the four strikers, Calvert-Lewin, all of them, it doesn't play.
I make three changes if I'm Gareth. I take off Kane, Phillips, and Rice, and I bring on Rashford, Bellingham, and Foden, and go for this game.
I think it's risky to take off your two midfielders.
But they're both on yellows, mate. It's risky to leave them on at this point.
Wait, did they actually both have yellow cards?
Yeah, bro, it's right there. It's on the screen.
Yeah. Both Phillips and Rice have been booked. And Phillips has shown that he can. I'm pretty certain he's been sent off already at least once for Leeds this season. Later, Peter Crouch's team will be here with Year 8 Euros. Download 5 Lives Daily Euros for more reaction to today's game. That's on BBC Sound. Wimbledon continues across the BBC. BBC One's coverage tomorrow begins.
There's so much sport on at the moment.
Have you caught up now, Cohen?
Yeah, I'm caught up now.
There we go. Boom.
But there's so much sport on at the moment.
There isn't there?
There's the ODIs. There's the Euros, obviously. There's T20s in West Indies. There's so many different sports going on right now.
I forgot about the one day internationals. I need to.
Yeah, after this, I'm going to be watching that.
Phillips doesn't have any red cards this season. He only has 10 yellows.
Only.
Oh yeah, damn. 10 yellows in 29 games. So he essentially gets a yellow every 3 games.
Has he been sent off? I'm sure he has been.
Not this season, in the Premier League at least.
Okay. Maybe I've obviously done him a disservice then.
Yeah. Yeah, he hasn't been sent off this season.
Still, as Cohen, I agree with Cohen. It is risky to leave both your centre midfielders on the pitch, both of them being booked, especially with the way the system is. They're more there to break up play rather than actual progress it.
Yeah.
It only takes you to mistime the challenge once, only slightly, and you're off. The referee will be sent off.
He needs to at least Trippier. Trippier hasn't done much. Shaw's done a lot of the build up, or Maguire's just been driving into midfield. England have lacked a bit of cutting edge, to be honest.
Yeah,
like Germany have actually made some chances. In fact,
I think it's playing in Germany. I think Joachim Löw, he thought this was going to happen, and I think he'd be much happier out of the two managers right now, because I think it's playing into his hands quite nicely.
Yeah, and they looked more like scoring with the Werner chance, and Goosen's missing the back post header.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wish Bamford came.
Yeah, me too.
I think what he does is take off Stones, put Shaw left centre back. I mean, then even put Saka left wing back and bring on Sancho.
We'll see. I think that middle is dangerous right now.
Because Shaw's better left centre back, I think, anyways.
I just want to see what he does because
Sterling's had some chances.
You have to take one of those two off, in my opinion. They're both on yellows. It's a bit mad.
I just want Trippier off. He's not been good.
I mean, if you look at the bench, there's Mount is available, Henderson. Honestly, if you have 5 subs, take off both of them, bring on Henderson and Bellingham. What's the harm in that?
I think you take off one first.
Yeah, one first, obviously.
I think you take off Phillips for Mount.
I'd go Bellingham, but we can agree to disagree on that.
Because Mount is just more cutting edge, much more cutting edge offensively, even though Bellingham is more complete.
I bring on Mount second. I bring off Bellingham to sort of do a similar role to Phillips, and then as the game state changes, then
Phillips has been high a lot, anyways.
Yeah. As the game state changes, I can decide whether I want to bring Rice off or Henderson or Mount or even someone else, maybe a Foden. So I think you bring on Bellingham first, and then watch how the game state changes. That's how I would do it anyway.
You're not that guy, Kane. You're not that guy. Kane is so bad.
It's not that he's bad. It's just that
he is right now. He's been bad.
As I was gonna say, I think he's had a poor. I don't think he's bad. I think he's had a very bad tournament. Like he's not performed as you'd expect.
He should not have started this game. But you can't even take off Sterling because him and Saka are the only ones looking like doing anything offensively.
Yeah. Well, here we go. They're coming out the tunnel now.
Oh, for me, the game's already started.
Oh, for God's sake, how is this keep happening to me?
Well, for me, it's kicking off, but downstairs it started.
Yeah, so for me, it's just coming up to the 46th minute.
See?
All right.
I can, if you want, Curran, I can always pause mine and then.
No. Just watch it, mate, because I'm gonna fix this.
He's gonna react.
That's what I mean. I'm gonna react. Not react.
I'd rather people react on time than me getting.
That's what I don't like about Walker. His pass selection.
Yeah, me and Curran were having this discussion earlier about the pros and cons of having Walker in over Ben White.
Walker brings the pace, more pace than Ben White, and maybe a bit more strength. But Ben White is just way better on the ball.
That's it. That's essentially what we said.
Mm-hmm.
And you need more than just Maguire progressing, because that's all that's coming from the back line. Maybe even
because then it makes it easier for Germany to hem you in, doesn't it?
Yeah. If Maguire's the only threat or the only threat in build-up, then it's easy just to force him to the left, because I think Maguire should have played central centre-back and then Shaw left centre-back.
Yeah, it would have worked.
And I think maybe because of all this Kane slander, I think he just does what Benzema did yesterday.
I hope so.
I don't.
I hope he explodes.
Here's an idea. Would it have been better for England to try and get the best out of Harry Kane to play a 4-4-2 and play a striker alongside Harry Kane?
Harry Kane's, for me, his problem is he's trying to be Kane, but he's not fit.
No, he's not fit at all.
So, big save.
Big save, yeah.
Did you
Oh
see
my
the
god,
save?
I'm caught up. I saw the save, yeah. Of Havertz, yeah?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you. I was like, what are you talking about?
I'm back, boys. I'm back.
Yeah, he is.
But they played through England way too easily.
Mm.
You see, there you go. Look, Germany pressing on down our left, their right,
Mm.
hemmed England in because they preyed on Harry Maguire not being able to play out with his left foot.
Yeah. That's why I wanted Shaw left centre back.
Yeah.
Shaw left centre back, Maguire central, and then Ben White right centre back.
That's it. Yeah, and it makes it easier to build out from the back, then, doesn't it? Build around the Germany's press, and
Yeah. Because even if you play Ben White central, he's both footed. He's very good on both feet, so you'd never have the problem that Stones or Maguire would have. He's harder to block off.
but then I can also understand what potentially he's gone with Walker as one of the centre halves, because obviously Timo Werner being with his pace, he's thinking, well, if I go with Walker, at least I can match him up pace for pace. Then
he did match him. He has matched him so far.
Mm.
Walker only went through one time.
How long has Rudiger been wearing that face mask for now? It seems like he's been wearing it
for a long time.
For the whole second half of the season.
Maybe it's a good luck charm at this point.
Yeah, kind of like how Czech never took off his protective mask for the rest of his career. Excuse me.
To be fair, he should have scored that, Havertz.
It was a good save, even though it was straight down the middle.
No, but it was exactly. He should have got either side of him. It's a bit of a. It's a poor hit.
Saka's playing with a worse striker than he does at Arsenal. And it's actually annoying me.
Cue all the angry tweets from Spurs fans.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. He's carried them all season.
What minute are we at?
51.
Yeah, 51. Good.
Just took mine off.
It's a good tackle.
You can put the game back on for me. Who do you guys think's been the man of the match so far? I think Hummels.
Most likely Hummels. Yeah, I was going to say Hummels, but it's been a poor game, to be fair.
Yeah.
It really has been. Yeah, it really has.
I don't think they would have had 3 incredible games in a row, because yesterday's games were both quality to watch.
Yeah. It's just such a stark contrast, isn't it?
Yeah. Kane.
Oh, sorry about that, boys. I just had a massive coughing fit.
Nice.
It's all right. Don't worry about it.
Are you guys watching on BBC?
Yep.
Yeah.
I play it.
Okay.
Are you? Have you not been?
I was, but I turned it off. For a second, anyways.
Germany's slowly coming on top here.
Yeah.
They're slowly starting to clamp down almost.
I mean, this is the thing. Either teams are going to have periods of dominance. It's going to be back and forth. It's
Absolutely.
In a game like this, it's not a case where you can just say, well, one team's just going to blitz it. There's going to be periods of one team are going to have a dominant period, and another team are going to have a dominant period. It's going to be back and forth. So let's see how they go. Germany look good in the air as well. I mean, if you look at that previous chance they've had, it's not like they have looked bad in the air as well. And I wasn't as worried about Germany as I would have been, say, for a Portugal or a France, just because I felt like in that Hungary game they looked gettable at this Germany team.
They did, but do you know why they probably looked gettable? Because I felt like Hungary had a go at them.
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
And you know they were Hungary. So weird, isn't it? Hungary, a team that many would recognise, obviously not as good as England, but then don't play with the same fear that we do.
No, 100%. And the thing is, Hungary.
Positive. Kane looks like he can't get back up.
No.
So positive news.
Hungary played with, pardon the pun, a bit more hunger than England did. They seem to want to get at this Germany team more.
I tell you what, they had a bit more snap to their play, didn't they?
Yeah. Why am I seeing so many?
What minute are you on?
What minute am I? I just twitched to Twitter for a second to check what's going on. I am on 55:15.
Same. Yeah, same.
I just went on the Twitter to see what people were saying for a second, and I'm seeing a lot of no DCL, what a mess up, Kane down, advantage England, no Dominic, get Saka going. It's a bit mad. Oh, dear.
Joe, I would be interested to know what the England players' actual, real, honest thoughts are of Gareth.
Yeah,
because surely, as they recognise that they've got talent, right? They know that we've got good players, and they're playing in such a stifle. I feel like he stifles it. I feel like he stifles.
A lot of them
England.
probably wouldn't rate him because you can't go from working on the clock for 9 months or Pep for 9 months or coaches like Arteta, Bielsa and all these guys, and then go to Southgate and be like happy or something. It would be completely different to them probably. They just
That's
probably,
it.
It would probably be much less in depth, I think.
For sure.
I mean, this just can't be having fun. I akin it to the same as playing under Mourinho. You just can't have. You can't be enjoying your game, having to scrap out every game you play, have to battle it out, because that just gets tiring. Not just like
mentally as well.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, not just the fact that it's boring. It's just the fact that you're having to battle and scrap. So not physically, but as you say, mentally, it's just that would just take its toll.
Just wears you down. Right. God, this is going to be 0-0 120 minutes. This is going to be. Someone needs to have.
Forwards just don't seem to want to pass to each other.
No one's coming to feet. No one's wanting to come to the ball. Everyone just wants to stay in their zone.
The run, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, with Rashford on, let's see what we can do. Maybe with an extra runner in that front three, maybe it will give you a different dynamic.
An extra runner.
Yeah, I mean, taking Kane off to get an extra person who is someone that can run at defenses instead of having someone that's a target man. It gives you, as I said, an extra runner in terms of someone that can stretch play.
England's average age is 2 years younger than Germany. This German team is getting
I mean, they've got the likes of Muller and Hummels in the team, Neuer as well. They do have some sort of Kroos as well. Yeah. A lot's going to depend on that last 10, 15 minutes, which team wants to go for it. I think this is going to be until about the 80th minute, it's going to be a bit, okay, you can have the ball, I'll have the ball, you can have the ball, I'll have the ball.
It'll just be like, we have to go for it at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Unless Saka does something now. Imagine a Saka 89th minute winner.
I would be merciless. I think the ultimate would be Saka taking the 5th penalty and bagging it.
No, Saka's fine. He's fine.
He's fine. But I think the ultimate would be Saka bagging that 5th penalty when Mbappe couldn't.
He won't bag the 5th. He won't take a 5th.
He wouldn't take the 5th. That's what I'm saying. That would be the ultimate.
Yeah, so if we do go to penalties, who do you think takes? I think Rashford will be brought on 100%.
Yeah, Rashford would. I think Sterling does.
I think Saka will be taken off by them.
What do you think? Yeah, I mean, honestly, yeah.
I can see Saka being the first man off.
Sancho is warming up, so a smart manager, in my opinion, takes off Stones.
Sterling, yeah.
And takes off Stones for Sancho and puts Sancho on the wing.
I think Grealish will be on by that point as well, maybe.
No, I don't think he brings on Grealish.
Just give me some hope, man. I want to have some hope.
I'm so happy my door's closed. Oh my god, it's so loud downstairs. South King.
Imagine watching this in a pub. See, as much as I like getting in amongst it and in a pub atmosphere and everyone, there are times where you know what, I just want to watch a football game in quiet so I can actually see what's going on.
Yeah.
It depends what you prefer. I don't mind either, to be honest.
This is not good.
No.
Trippier's delivery really hasn't been
great.
No, not at
really
all.
Hasn't.
Because there's 2 crosses there. One he's woefully under hit, and then one he's pretty much over hit because he's tried to correct it. He's gone obviously the overcorrection.
I think you take off Trippier and Stones. Even though Stones hasn't had a bad game, Shaw hasn't had a good one at left wing back.
CK, what time are you at?
62.
Yeah, see, I'm 62 now, exactly.
Okay.
How many seconds ahead are you in?
What are you on now?
62-15.
10 seconds.
I'm about 30 seconds ahead of you two.
Okay. Karen, how have you gone back?
Yeah.
No, but it's the PCs. I think it's my internet, and the thing is, I'm not at my house. I'm not at my house, and I'm not at my parents. I'm at my Airbnb where I've been staying while I've been working, and I don't have a key. I don't have a TV here. I just have my laptop. So I'm doing the StreamYard and the watching the thing on the same laptop. So I think the internet isn't able to handle it.
Yeah, that's a lot of demand on the bandwidth.
Yeah. Luckily, lads, this is the last video with this lovely beach attire. I will be back in London Thursday, which will be interesting. And what are we doing? What are we doing this Saturday, CK? We're doing another Euros live, or we just
Probably. When does the quarters start?
I can have a look.
Saturday.
Saturday, right?
I'll check right now.
I got it. I got you. Don't worry.
This in July. The 2nd of July.
Yeah.
When's that?
That's
So Friday and Saturday. Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, there you go.
No, the 2nd of July is a Friday, and then
maybe we do a Friday live instead of a Saturday live.
Well, the Saturday game, the first game is the Czechs versus the Danes on the Saturday, and then the 2 Friday games are the Swiss versus the Spanish and Belgium versus.
This was not a 5 o'clock game. It should have been 8 o'clock.
What, this game? Yeah. Well, you say that. Imagine how annoyed we'd all be just to wait this long just to see this pilot.
Yeah. It's been a really poor game.
It has been. It has been.
Germany
have definitely looked the most convincing in the second half.
Yeah, for sure.
They need to make a change sooner rather than later.
I think both teams do.
Yeah. England just have much more they can bring on.
Gnabry, maybe?
Gnabry and Sane, probably. Take off Mola.
I hadn't really noticed Thomas Muller at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I imagine there's a lot of games where you can say that about Thomas Muller, and then he'll absolutely pop up with 2 goals and an assist, and you're like, what?
I mean, you've got the likes of Gnabry, Volland, and Sane available.
I'd bring on Gnabry.
Neuhaus, maybe, or Gundogan, maybe, if you want to change the midfield.
Gundogan had like a head injury, right? Or am I wrong in saying that?
No, I think it was a head injury.
It was.
Yeah.
But I might have to go soon.
Yeah, go for it. This game is just like, oh man.
Look at this fan.
Okay, so Grealish is just to warn you boys, Grealish is getting ready to come on.
It wouldn't make sense to bring on. It only this one. I want to see who he's coming on for.
Well, I imagine this is how I picture it, because not because he should do, but mainly because this is how Gareth sees it. He would be taking off Saka, and he'd move Sterling over to the right and Grealish to the left.
That's what I was thinking.
I know he's not going to do it, but I wish he would take off one of those midfield 2 and just go for it. Try and
absolutely, yeah, 100%.
Unless he takes off Stones and puts Saka left wing back.
I mean, Gnabry's coming on as well, so I think both coaches have realised how stagnant this game is.
So Timo Werner's coming off.
Yeah, for Gnabry.
Makes sense.
You've caught up now, it looks like.
Yeah, caught up, yeah.
I think Saka's coming off.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saka.
Yeah.
Yeah, Saka.
And yeah, it had to be him. Just Grealish left wing, and
Yeah,
what's his
Grealish left wing, Sterling over to the right.
what is that from Walker? Should have been Grealish and Saka, not all. They have no cutting edge in the final third. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go, guys.
Yeah,
So
go for it, man. Go for it.
thank you for having me.
It's
I hope you
team.
enjoy the rest of the game. I will be watching. So yeah, and
I feel that, bro.
thank you for 300 subs.
Yeah, thank you for the upside and subs, guys. Alright, back to me and you, Alex.
Yeah, back to us too. It sounded like sounded like CK was in a like. Oh, he must have had some aircon or a fan on because it sounded like he was in a wind tunnel.
Yeah, I mean, usually I can't hear it. Usually I don't hear his fan, but today it was a bit loud. Oh god. I think I'm like 2 seconds behind now.
If you just sing Grealish foul Havertz.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
I just we look less and less likely to score. Every minute that goes by, which just don't even look like we can even have a shot, let alone.
It's not even the. It's not even the attack. It's the midfield. There's no one driving the ball forward.
That's it. That's exactly it.
It's just so stagnant.
I mean,
I don't even know how you change it. To be fair, I mean, you got to bring on Bellingham at some point, surely.
I think you have to change the system.
I don't even think it's a system. You just need some fresh legs in there. You need someone like Henderson or Bellingham. I think both of them need to come on. I think Grealish was a poor first sub. If we're going to take off Saka, bring on Sancho. Exactly.
Yeah.
Sancho would be a move. I don't know why he's. I don't know. I'm just struggling. Yeah, I'm struggling to guess what's going on. Oh, by the way, guys, we're gonna be here for about another half an hour, 45 minutes to break down the game afterwards. So if you do want to pop in and have a bit of a chat, then I'm gonna leave the link in the comments again. So please do, if you fancy having a chat, come in and say. Hopefully after the game finishes, we'll pick up a bit more because it's been a bit slow. I'm not gonna lie, but let's see. I don't know. This German team. I just think if England were to play to how they should be playing, like just I'm not even talking about playing at an amazing level. I'm talking about playing at a normal level. They should trounce this team. I'm sorry, I just don't see what is so amazing about this German team. It should be at least 1-0 up by now, but it's just not.
No, there's nothing special about Germany.
Not at all.
You know, they're looking more and more like Germany of the late sort of 90s. Very functional.
Yeah.
Very workmanlike, but not particularly threatening or like. That's how Germany was sort of like. In fact, that's how they won That's how they won Euro '96, actually.
Yep.
And then was it the '98 World Cup? They didn't go very far. You know, and then obviously they had the we beat them 5-1 in Munich. You know, when we were having that side, that England side with Gerrard, Scholes, Lampard, Heskey, Owen, Beckham, that team. And then obviously they somehow got themselves to a final of the World Cup. But this German side is just, there's nothing to be. This is why I'm disappointed in Southgate. There's nothing to be worried about. There is absolutely nothing to be worried about. Yeah, don't get me wrong in saying, I'm not saying that they're absolutely horrible, because they're a professional. They're a professional football team. Of course they're going to be good. And they'll punish you if you make a mistake. But that's only if you let them. That's if you invite that on. If you don't invite that on, and you take it to them, as Hungary show. But hey, what? North Macedonia beat them.
Yeah, for sure.
Didn't Spain spank them 6-0? Or was that the other way around?
No. They didn't get spanked. I remember.
So there's nothing to fear. There's nothing to fear from them, and it's I can only put it down to two things. One, that the players are scared. Well, I mean, are they scared? They played a lot. Over half this team have played in the Champions League final. Goal. Raheem Sterling.
Yes.
Wow,
yeah.
That's the one time they've actually managed to progress. Wow. And there's me in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I'm happy about that. I'm happy for that viral to go viral, really.
Yeah.
If me slating it and then England scored right in the middle of it. Wow.
Right in the middle of it. Yeah, literally. What's funny is literally like 5 seconds apart. Oh God.
Wow. Okay.
Now it's game on.
What? Now it's game on, right? And I tell you what, that's the one occasion Luke Shaw's pushed up high. Grealish has come inside.
Yep.
And he's got into the box, yeah. Wow.
Yep. Wow, indeed.
Oh, these are going to be.
It's a good goal.
It's a very good goal. It's a very good goal. It's going to be a long 20 minutes now, though.
No. If they win this, they should be going to the final. Let's be real.
Yeah.
At least.
Hello. What's going on here?
Oh. Literally right on the edge. Yeah, no, you can't get too cocky. This team will set you up for failure if you do.
Ooh, this is. Tony Cruz. I mean, any good? He's got a good, decent long shot on him. Is he any good at free kicks though?
No, he's fairly decent at long kick. Free kicks, sorry.
Wow. I got to be honest with you, Kieran. I could not. As I said, I was in the middle of my England don't look like scoring. They look as far away from scoring as they have done since the start of the match. Getting interrupted by England scoring shows what I know.
Shows what any of us know, to be honest.
Yeah.
This free kick got me on edge. Not gonna lie.
In his first 45 games for England, he scored twice. He scored 15 in the last 20.
Here we go.
The question marks coming into the tournament because of his form with Manchester City. Should he start for England? They got Foden, they got Grealish. He came into the tournament with a lot of negativity. He's been top drawer.
No need to worry. I didn't even get past the wall. What do you think about this notion about it's a bit unfair for England to play this entire tournament basically at Wembley?
I just don't understand why UEFA did this. I mean, okay, yeah, you want to give you want to try and make it seem like a European competition like the Champions League, right? But I've read that apparently they're going to go back to just going into one country next time the Euros is on. So they're going just back to Germany, I think, I've heard.
I have no clue, I'll be honest with you.
So, I mean, if that's the case, what the hell? Why not just do the one country this year where there's a pandemic going on? And if you want to do it like a European competition like the Champions League, do it as the next Euros. But then, you know,
if it was all in one place with this pandemic, you could have specialist hotels for each team.
Yeah,
and it would be, you wouldn't have as much travel, and it would be easier to contain the virus. I mean, this is not the tournament to try out these. It seems like people are putting their own pride in front of what's actually needed to happen. Uh-oh.
So it's quite funny. I'm moving out in a couple of weeks' time. But where I'm currently living, I live in a shared house.
Yeah,
Can you hear someone shouting in the background? Yeah. So he's so that's my housemate lives down in who lives down in the basement. He's a West Ham fan, but he's also Irish. So
that was pretty bad. That was pretty bad from Thomas Molo.
Okay. He's going absolutely mental downstairs.
Like you've seen Ferry, the poor kid. He's not happy about this. He's Irish. He's 17, and he's not happy about this current state of affairs.
No, he's not. Look, now that is, excuse the term, that is SH Housery football from England.
Yeah.
One attempt.
Muller is just dead, man. He should have scored. I'm looking at it again.
Yeah. That is... Because the positioning from Pickford as well is a bit suspect.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
Expected to be this scrappy and a whole lot more in the next 7.5 minutes and a little bit more than that. Wherever you are watching, take long deep breaths.
Oh. So.
Yeah.
Henderson on. He's bringing Henderson. He's bringing Henderson on now.
Yep.
Now.
I like Henderson on.
No, I like Henderson on. I could just feel that he might do the classic manager thing of bringing off a say. I know he might bring off Sterling, for example.
Surely he's going to bring off one of the midfielders. One of the two.
Well, you should go like for like in that position, exactly for that substitution. But you know what managers are like. They'll bring off a forward for a midfielder like that, but then what they don't realise is that you then lose an outlet, so that when you do win the ball back from defending, you then an outlet's important because obviously, as you well know. That you can pass the ball to an outlet, you can get your team up the pitch and relieve the pressure.
Yeah, 100%.
But if you take them off, then you haven't got that. So, as you say, I hope it's one of Phillips or Rice.
I hope it's Phillips.
I hope
it's Phillips personally, because I feel like Rice has got a bit more composure about him. I think he can have. I think.
Rice is a better player for me. Rice is a better player than Phillips, but. It's got to be for one of. If he's going to make a substitution, it has to be for one of those two.
Oh, for God's sake. I had Stones on the bench for my fantasy and had Dumfries in. Oh God. Oh, the pain. Oh God. This is. I could have gone clear this week. So this game day. It's not been the one. This is painful.
Go on, attack him. Right, you've got to go at him.
Go on. Ah! There we go. Done. It's done.
And my housemate goes crazy downstairs.
Thank God. Well, that's that then. Oh God. 2-0. That should be that.
Wow. Oh my God.
And it's Kane as well.
Yeah.
Oh Lord. Oh, and I said there wouldn't be two goals in one team. Fair enough.
Well, do you know what? Actually, once we got that first goal, ooh, is he off? No, he shouldn't be.
No, he shouldn't be on. No, I'm looking at that. Oh, God.
To be fair, that is a great header because that's kind of slightly behind him.
Yeah, for sure. That's just, I can't believe it. Honestly, that Spain game should not be difficult. No, we're not Spain. Who are they playing next? Let's bring up the fixtures. Let me find it. Switzerland versus Spain, Belgium versus Italy, Czech Republic versus Denmark, and then basically it's whoever wins the evening game, which is Sweden versus Ukraine. So the next game should, let's be real, if they play Sweden again, like they did in the World Cup, it should be okay. We should be okay, you think?
Yeah, we should be comfortable against Sweden. Famous last words. Should be comfortable against Sweden. I mean, and then what the semi? Who would we potentially play in the? So this is to get through to the quarters. This is to get through to the quarters, isn't it? And then that would be the quarters. So that'd be then through to the semis. So
semis will be one of the Czechs, the Danes, let me find the rest of them. It will be the Czechs, the Danes, or I think it's Spain or Switzerland, I think. I'm just going to find the bracket now, just to be sure. So yeah, so no. So basically, the semi-final. So if it's England versus the quarterfinal will be one of England versus Spain or Ukraine, and the semi will be against the Danes or the Czechs.
Okay, but there you go. It's the hype machine is going into overdrive as we speak.
Yeah. For me, I honestly think with France out, it's going to be. There are 2 games left. This game and one more game that's still going to come up, but that will decide the final. It's that Belgium-Italy game.
Oh, that Belgium-Italy game is going to be
class.
It should be. It's got the makings of a class game.
It's Friday.
What time is kickoff? That one is it? That is that an 18? Oh, thank God! I'll be able to watch that.
Then, so I personally think it will be the semis will be England versus the Czechs, and I'm going to go with Belgium versus the Swiss. I don't fancy Spain to get through against the Swiss. I do like how they're playing, and then
Swiss are going to be on a high. Absolutely going to be riding the crest of a high. They're saying that so is Spain. I mean, that was
my final. Is actually I'm going to share this now, quickly while we're here, because this game, unless they try to pull out an Ollie finishing versus in '99, they're not going to get through this. So famous last words, but yeah, let me just quickly share this. So if we take a look,
there we go.
It'll be. I think that's how it goes. I think we do. I think we go. Belgium to take out Italy, and then the Swiss take out Spain, and then it will be Sweden versus England again. I do like Ukraine, but I think Sweden get that, and then the Czechs will take out the Danes. In my opinion, I just think that the Czechs have. For me, when you look at tournament football, you look at the quality of opposition you face throughout the competition, and that's how you judge the teams. And if you look at the Czechs, they've faced what? England, Croatia, Scotland, and the Netherlands, and they got out of the group. It was the Scots, but they did well. They did beat the Scots quite handily, and then got a draw out of the England game and did well against Croatia. And then Netherlands, they beat them quite handily. I feel. I guess it could be luck, but for me, I just think this is how this is how it ends up, and then this is the final. And honestly, I can't call it. I can't call it from that.
Where the finals at Wembley, isn't it?
Yeah.
So as I understand it, do England England win every game now, or from now on England will only play at Wembley?
I'm not sure. Let me see this. No. The next game will be the quarterfinals. As you can see here, will be in Rome.
So we're playing in Rome next game,
and then the semi will be in Wembley.
Okay.
And the final will obviously also be at Wembley. In terms of Belgium, they'll play in Munich, and then they'll play. The semis will be in Wembley. Both semis will be at Wembley.
Yeah, I think both semis and the finals all at Wembley, isn't it?
Yeah. So they'll play one game at in what do you call it in Rome, and then go back to the Wembley Stadium. If we do get to the final and it's Wembley, I'm going to be in London. I might just wander around recording things around Wembley.
Oh, yeah. I think you're going to get some wonderful and not so wonderful sights.
Yeah. Maybe just try and do an AFTV at Wembley, but who knows? But in all reality, that next week is going to be fun in terms of being a football fan.
Mm.
So let's see what happens. Crap, I've closed the game by accident. In all honesty, I don't think we any like I did see the Germans having a chance, but I did think England would miss.
Well, all things considered, yeah, I thought England should win. We've got the better players. We're at home. I just thought the occasion, the opposition, as in like the scarring of the opposition, the history, all of that would just weigh us down too much, and
Yeah.
it's turned out that no, that
I feel like
Again-
beating Germany now it would actually make this run actually probably better than the World Cup run, just because
Oh,
of
yeah.
the level of position.
yes,
Because
absolutely,
that World Cup run, let's be honest, was quite lucky at times.
yeah, absolutely,
in
very
terms of the
lucky.
score.
This legitimizes it a bit more, and especially as we still haven't conceded a goal. Still,
Mad,
it's four games played. I know it's only 4 goals scored, but no 0 goals conceded. I think what it does show is that in the end, the quality of players that we had has just decided the factor. I mean, I know obviously we're all Arsenal fans and we want Saka to do well, but Grealish has come on and he's made a telling he has actually made probably the telling contribution, isn't he? Because he's allowed Sterling to come over to the right, which I think is probably where he's better from, actually, Sterling.
Yeah, agreed.
I think he does. He is better on the left. Just that sometimes you
he
reckon?
can play on the right. Yeah, I think he. I think that he has that ability as an inside forward to come to cut in a bit more on the left, and he seems to be a bit more comfortable there. I like it. I don't mind him on the right, but the left I think he's a bit better. That's just my thoughts on that. I still don't think it's coming home. I just don't know. I don't know. I have this sneaky feeling that there's still an upset in this tournament, and I pray it's not coming on England's head.
Well, yeah, me too. But I mean, hopefully the upset was the French game last night.
Yeah, that's the hope. Right, I'm gonna post another tweet out and see if we can get some people in here just to dissect this game. All right.
Wow. Right, I'm just quickly nipping into the kitchen, mate.
Yeah, go for it. No, I'm gonna go through some stats right now. All right. What a game, guys! Awful quality. Not gonna lie to you, but it was. It's a very significant game. So if we're talking about this game in total, I'm just going to bring up the Sofa Score stuff so we can have a look. Let's have a look. Knackered. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm knackered with how this has gone. 2-0, guys. I think it's a very flattering score. What do you think? Right, here we go. Sofa Score. Share screen. Let's do this. Share screen. So let's have a look. So England. Funnily enough, I think this is Bukayo Saka's worst game in an England shirt. Sadly, but I think he looked leggy. I think he didn't look like himself. And Kane is very lucky to have got a goal because he was having a sting for himself. Sterling looked good. I did like Stones. I liked. I think he was a bit. I mean, I'm glad he took Rice off. I just think this midfield pairing it's got to be binned next game. I want to see Bellingham. I want to see Mount. I want to see Henderson. I want to see these guys come to the party. Let's have a think about what we're doing as a team and try and get what we're doing in terms of system better. Get our system right. So
Hi, I'm back again.
Yeah.
So I feel those sofa scores. I feel that's so unfair on Bukayo Saka. That really is, isn't it?
I think it's unfair, but I do think that he wasn't. I think maybe a 6.5. I wouldn't say anything low. I wouldn't say something this low, but I don't think he had a very good game by his standards. And I can say I don't mind saying that because I love Bukayo Saka, and he didn't do what he wasn't the Bukayo Saka I was expecting today. I think he got a bit lost in the system, and Harry Kane did not help him out at all in this game.
No.
So
no, Kieran Trippier didn't really help him out.
Yeah,
I agreed. It wasn't obviously nowhere near his best game. I just felt like he was put in a position where it was going to be really tough for him to succeed, especially even as much as we go on about him being really good and everything. He's still only a 19-year-old, 20-year-old young kid. So fair enough. No, Grealish came on and he definitely made a difference to England. I mean, but then saying that, he'd been on for about a good 5 or 6 minutes and still England hadn't looked like scoring, obviously, up until they did. And that sounds like such a strange thing to say, but usually when a team does score, it is off the back of a good, sustained amount of pressure. And that England goal really kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah, it did. It did, it for sure. I mean, remember what you were saying during it. Like we were going on about how England wasn't really proposing an attacking threat, and at that same time, Sterling scored.
Oh no, it's
a bit mad.
Yeah, but I mean, they're showing the replay of the goal now, and it actually starts off with the fact that Sterling actually committed a couple of players. When you committed a couple of players, then the German defenders are then having to run the other way rather than keeping everything in front.
Yeah.
And then obviously that's what's caused them to. We obviously got the goal off the back of it.
I think for me, I'm going to say this for my boy CK. Hey, Leno is coming back to the carpet to get sold. Let's hope. So at least we got to keep that Arsenal watch off. At least hopefully this will allow Leno to pursue his options and hopefully get on his bike.
Yes, yeah. I mean, I suppose that's the good thing about certain countries now getting knocked out is they're just showing the reactions of all the boys there. That's quite good. It's good to see. But yeah, you're right. We should hopefully see some movement on the goalkeeper side now for Arsenal because I think we're pretty much got Onana. I don't even know. Okay, every time I think of him, I always just think of that Rihanna song. There's just always constantly in my mind every time I think of that. You know, the Onana or Onana or however you say it. But it seems like we're going to be very similar to Kieran Tierney because, you know, when we were signing Kieran Tierney, we didn't sign him. Or were we going to sign him? Oh, Arsenal going to sign him? Are we not? And we did it, a day before the transfer window ended. I feel like it's probably going to be something similar with him because of the whole ban issue, and we're not going to be wanting to pay for his wages longer than necessary, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, with I think a lot of our players, it's a case of I don't want to pay their wages, and I don't want them if those are the wages we're going to play. If those are the wages we're going to pay, we want better quality at the club for those wages because they're not performing at that level that we need them to perform right now.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
Yeah,
we'll see.
Well,
yeah.
look, I was going to say. So it looks like as well. I mean, are you trusting of these particular rumours and links to the Benfica left back? Is it Tavares?
Tomorrow. No, my policy is clear. I don't trust anything until I see it on the website. Until it's on the website, I don't really care. I don't care about Romano. I don't care about Di Marzio. I don't care about any of these guys. Give me the actual facts, and we will talk. Same with any of these situations, Saliba or Leno or Xhaka or anything. I understand there are things that you can believe, and there's patterns you can follow, and you can see what's going on with the window, and you can see, well, this is what we're looking to do. But in terms of believing anyone, well, I don't believe my own mom sometimes. Never mind Fabrizio Di Romano. So it's
hi to Mrs. Curran.
Yeah, it's a bit much, you know. So let's see what happens. I just want to say with this, if we're looking at something, let's have a look at while we're here. Let's look at the Germany ones as well. So. Werner definitely had a stinker, as did Muller.
Yeah, they were very ineffectual.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the Gnabry didn't do much of anything, to be honest, until when he came on. And I think, as I said at the beginning of this stream, it was a case of the first goal will really decide this game.
Mm.
I was all on board for a 0-0 extra time. Let's go to penalties. I was fully strapped in for a penalty section. Where are the Arteta comparisons for Southgate? Well, Gareth Southgate's literally just put his team through against one of the favourites in the tournament. So if you want to compare him to Southgate, well, it's looking quite good at the moment, isn't it? So,
yeah. I mean, I don't quite understand where he's coming from with that comment, but you know, fair enough. If that's how you want to spin this, then go for it.
Sean, I'm going to be real with you. International football and club management are two completely different jobs.
Yeah,
there's no comparison there. There's just none. So, unless it's a troll, then if it's a troll,
fair play to you.
Fair play to you. You got an answer out of it. But if it's not, then I don't need too many comparisons there, mate. Completely different jobs.
No, now's not really the time to be talking about Arteta or anything, is it? I suppose it's just celebrating.
I'm so fed up of Arteta. I'm not even lying. Not because of him as a manager. It's just I'm fed up of people getting either going completely into the hype and getting the Arteta ABIs out and he's the man for the job, or the other side where it's like people just are so blind with their hatred of the man that they just don't care about anything else that's going on. So who knows? I don't really care, if I'm honest. No, I just want to see what the window does. If you want to hound every day about, oh, it's another day gone and there's no signings. Look, if you have that energy in you, mate, go for it. I want to talk about other things. I want to talk about the Euros. I like talking about football in general. I don't like being negative about things consistently and just thinking, oh, what can I complain about today on Twitter so I can get a couple of interactions. So if that's your joy, then that's your joy.
That's it. I mean, and I think you're dangerous of obviously comparing yourself to other clubs and other club situations, but the market is dead and dry right now because of the Euros.
Yeah.
You know, and no matter how much we want movement to happen, it's just not going to until it's over.
Who has actually made moves? I think it's just Liverpool have made moves. Leicester
Liverpool signed.
Konate.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Fair. Yeah.
Can I say? I think lots of maybe. I think Leicester have moved for that one striker. I think Daka. I think his name is. I don't know if it's announced yet. But
And here's the other thing as well. Yeah, they were supposed to have signed Sumer, but still hasn't been done.
it's been
And
May.
that's been-
That Samara deal has been going on since April apparently, and it's still not done.
yeah.
I sincerely think that they promised him Champions League football and they didn't deliver it, and that he's on his he's backtracked now.
You reckon?
So, yeah, that's just an opinion. I don't have anything to back that up. It just looks like the timing of the movements of this deal have been something that is just like, well, in April it was agreed and they were in the Champions League spots. Then May it was announced just before the season ended, when Champions League was still a possibility, and then now it's almost July, and nothing's happened. So who knows?
Who knows? Yeah.
I'm gonna change the name for this. I'm just gonna say England.
I don't know what it's like where you are currently, how close you are to the streets, but I don't know if you can hear in the background from mine, but I live quite near a quite busy road where there's quite a lot of pubs and places and bars and stuff, and people are going absolutely mental outside.
Yeah, I'm quite far up. Thankfully, I'm on the 4th floor, so I don't hear as much. But I assume people are going crazy. I'm a bit disappointed I didn't get back. I didn't stay at home an extra day to watch this, but I had to come back to sort some things out before I move out here. So,
I was gonna say, yeah, you got work needs, right? That's because
I've just done an exam on Friday, and I didn't take any shifts this week, and my contract ends at the end of the week. So I actually don't have anything to do here. It's just cleaning up and getting stuff ready to hand the keys back. Essentially,
I just thought actually, moving on from work talk there, CK's Kane agenda is kind of in the mud now.
Yeah. He. It's not that he's in the mud. It's just that he did put away a chance. It's just. I think honestly, if I'm Gareth, I think if you want to bench him for one game, this is the game to bench him. This is literally the game to bench him. This Sweden game, give DCL a game, and then bring him back for the checks, or even bring him on the second half of the checks. Why would you bring DCL if you're not going to use him at all? Not even have him in the squad, for God's sake.
That's it. I don't understand it either.
Me neither. Oh God! Oh, I'm seeing that Farage clip of him screaming the national anthem.
Which clip's this?
You know, wait, I'll show you. I'll show you. Wait a second. This one. That one. Where he's just screaming the national anthem. That's going to be tossed around a lot today.
Oh. Oh right, yeah.
It's going to get tossed around a lot today. There's people are, oh God, thank God something else to talk about rather than Arsenal today, because people are going to be saying it's coming home incessantly. Thank God. Seriously, I never thought the day would come that I would be relieved not to talk about Arsenal. Yeah, but it's literally here. Like I've told you before, I'm very new to this like the Twitter scene, and it's been a couple of months and I'm already worn out by it. I think like there's part of me, if it wasn't for the podcast, I'd be like, you know what, peace. We're good. I'm good. I'll have a burner and chat to my mates, and then the rest of you lot can bun it. I'll have 9 followers and forget everything else.
Well, it's funny how it kind of started out for me, because when I joined Twitter, I didn't really join Twitter. I had a Twitter account, and it was another good few years before I actually started being more active on it. And I mean, I like it from the point of view that you can the way I've always described it is almost like a tailored news feed. You can follow who you want, the news outlets that you want, and they can give you news quicker than, say, you would do if you were watching the 6 o'clock news, if you're living in the UK, for example, or the 9 o'clock news or whatever.
Yeah.
And then obviously I found out, that there was also the fact that you can interact with people. And then then came the group chat where I don't even know how I came about the group chat. I think what happened was I discovered Double Pivot, okay, and his let's say interesting views, shall we say. And I think he retweeted one of Z's tweets.
Yeah.
And then I started following Z from the back of that. And then that's how I got to know about the group chat.
Yeah.
And then obviously the group chat has kind of opened my eyes. And I feel like I've learned quite a lot from people like George, yourself, some of the other lads in there who seem to understand their ball and way teams are structured tactically wise. And it's something good, because obviously when I joined the group chat, I was like, oh, transfer news. I get to hear like transfer news for us. Yeah. But it's evolved so much more than that.
That was me as well. I mean, with this, with me, it was quite funny. I actually, I was just doing. I only really started Twitter, say in what do you call it, in like November-ish.
Yeah.
And I was just talking about just random nonsense, basketball, a bit of anime here and there, and just whatever I came across my feed. And then all of a sudden, I thought, you know what, the transfer season's coming up. This was like in beginning of April. I was like, the end of the season's coming up. Transfer news is going to be on. I think I posted on I think it was one of the Arsenal pages that I was following. Who do you follow for transfer news? And then someone linked Z, and I followed Z, and we just hit it off, and then he added me to the group chat. That's literally what happened with me. So it was a bit strange. Like he was like, you were just begging for people to get news. People just referring to me. I was like, all right, fine. And then I got added to that second group chat, and then we moved from there. I think it was like beginning of April 7th or something. I would add it to that group chat, and then we moved from there.
It's really been since then. Well, yeah, think about it. Actually, I mean, I remember being part of the group chat when before the Wolves game, the Arsenal Wolves game.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a while back now.
I think it was since then, because I remember obviously we were all gassed about the first half performance.
Yeah.
And
let's put it this way. I'm glad I watched that game alone, because otherwise, oh god.
Right. So this is going to be completely out of the shot, but I'm actually going to have to go now because I'm going to
shut this off as well, I think.
Fair. Well, I've got one angry girlfriend shaking her fist outside the front door, going, "Why aren't you letting me in?"
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna do some cleaning as well. So I'll see you later, mate. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
Oh, man, anytime, man. I'm glad I was able just to get involved for a change rather than not being able to miss it and stuff like that. Yeah. So yeah, I'm glad that I was able to.
Have a great evening, mate. I'll speak.
And
to
you too.
Right.
Yeah, much love. Take it easy, man.
You too. Right, before I head off, thank you guys for if you have been staying across. If you have been staying with us, we've got another. As soon as I say I'm going to head off, someone else comes to have a chat. Hello, mate.
Hello, mate.
How you doing? How did you find that game?
What's a game? I'm buzzing.
Really? I found it a disgustingly tepid game that kind of had a couple of good moments in it. Yeah, of course we're happy, but it was an awful game.
What, in terms of quality of the game? Yeah. But I'm talking about the result. Don't get me wrong.
The result obviously, but as a game, it was just what am I doing?
I would say this. I did say when talking to in a group chat that I would prefer this type of game rather than having me on the edge of the seat, constantly having panic attack. I'm not gonna lie, I'd rather just play out as boring as they did. Is it just me, or did it feel like they were a bit tepid?
Very much so. I mean,
very.
I think I think for me, what the problem was both our midfielders got yellow cards, and that's why I started getting nervous.
I thought they were just scared and didn't want to commit. They didn't want to commit too much and afraid to a counter. And at the end of the day, the moment they did commit too high, Muller had that golden opportunity. My mouth dropped. I couldn't believe it.
That's payback for 2010. To be honest, I feel that's payback. We've got our own back. Dan, mate, I'm gonna ask you a question I asked Alex just left us. Do you think now that we've beaten Germany, do you now think this run is now better than the 2018 World Cup run?
See, the opponents we beat in the 2018. What would you say first?
I personally think yes, because of who we faced in those knockout rounds. I mean, wasn't our toughest game like Colombia? We were playing like Sweden and Colombia. It was kind of like they were kind of nothing games that we were. And that group we were playing, I think it was like Tunisia as well.
We had Panama as well.
Panama, you know what I mean? Like.
Oh, actually, now that I think about it, yeah, I would agree as well. This is much harder because the competition is harder. The competition is much harder. And we proved that we can compete with the best against Germany. I think also playing the easy teams we did in the World Cup 2018 actually kind of hindered us, because when we had to play with that intensity, where we were playing a team who could actually compete with us in Croatia, we actually couldn't do it, because we were so used to playing teams that we knew we were miles better than on our day. So this is a test of this knockout stage. I would say is much harder because we're having to play the competition is much better, more competitive. So we're playing at our best the whole time.
Sure. I mean, for me, I think I'm not going to look past any of these games because it's still knockout football, and you can't look past anyone. But for me, there are. I honestly think the semi will be harder than the final, because I think that the other half of the draw is so tough that if you look at the draw, they've got left in that half is Belgium, Italy, Spain, and Switzerland, who are all teams that have been decent in this tournament. I mean, Spain have been on a bit tepid, but they've pulled through results. And Belgium and Italy are probably the two teams of the tournament so far. And I just feel like that top half of the draw is going to be so lethargic by the time they get to the final. So that Czech game, after what they did to the Dutch, I still fancy the Czechs against the Danes. What do you think?
The Czechs against the Danes. Yeah, I think the Czechs have the quality. They have underrated. There's so many teams here that have been underrated, So many people have written them off. Like Switzerland yesterday, I was not surprised that they beat France. They have the play. They actually have quality players. Yeah, I was not surprised, especially with the game plan. I think watching France in the group stage, I was not impressed with them at all. They took it way too easy, and they thought they could rock up to Switzerland and practically go into second gear the whole game. It doesn't work that way in knockout football, especially with a team like Switzerland, who physically in the air I knew could compete with. They had that striker that could in the air can compete with any centre back. Watching him in his Benfica day, they have a good solid defensive line, Switzerland, so they're hard to break down. So I was like, in no means are France gonna roll over Switzerland easy.
No.
So I knew it wasn't going to be as easy as I thought. So I'm not surprised. With Czechoslovakia, I'm not surprised either. They have quality players as well. All these teams have quality players in individual and when they come together, they can form actually a really competitive environment.
I mean, for me, I think what surprised, why I'm picking the Czechs. I mean, I don't know if you remember, but at the beginning of the tournament, a lot of people picked Turkey for their dark horses for this tournament, and I always thought that with the young talent that the Czechs have, it was always a case that if you look past them, you were going to get caught. And that's what people have looked at. People have forgotten who Patrick Schick is. They've forgotten. People people 2 months ago were raving about Thomas Suchek like he's one of the best players in the world, and all of a sudden he was treated like a scrub in some people by some people in this tournament.
It's recency bias, mate.
Recency bias, exactly.
Yeah.
So
Recency
you've
bias.
got players like Kufal, you've got players like Holesh, who did very well yesterday, Schick, Barak. You've got very good players there, and I feel like, personally, I think that Czech game is going to be one of, if not the biggest games of the tournament for England, because if they do get past the Danes,
playing Czech?
No, we're
Are we
playing. If they get past the Danes and the English get past their next game.
See, the Danes are no rollovers either.
No, they're not. They're not.
Especially they're emotionally attached.
Yeah.
Especially emotionally attached to this tournament. I have no doubt that Czechoslovakia game versus Denmark will be a game to watch. I'm very excited. I see that one being a thriller.
I think that will be one of the games of the tournament for me. I personally think the Czechs will win it because I feel like they have the physicality and the quality to do it, but I'm not waiting. I thought the Welsh were going to get it because in tournament football, sometimes individuals can pull off individual performances and maybe pull a team to a higher level than some of its parts. But I'm not going to doubt the Danes again because they proved in that Wales game who they were as a team. So that's probably my pick. There are two games that are going to be the key games in this next round. It's going to be Belgium, Italy, and the Danes versus the Czechs for me. I don't think the Spain Swiss game would be very good. And I don't think the English versus the team who's going to come out of this next game between Ukraine and Sweden, that game is going to be very good. I think that the top and the bottom games of the draw are going to be the best games. So.
What are you saying about Belgium versus Italy? It'll be. I mean, actually, kind of, because first of all, I'm really happy Belgium and Italy are playing each other because they're both been arguably the best teams.
The best teams, yeah. Totally agree.
One of them is knocking one of them out, which is good, eliminating a potential rival. Where do you see that game going? Because they both have players that could bring individual quality. Me personally, I think Belgium might just edge it. You know.
For me, I think Belgium as well, but I don't think because of I don't think that because of the talent they have. I think I'm looking at the form of the players that they have at the moment. I think that that Hazard started to be Hazard again. I think Thorgan Hazard had a very good game last game. I think that De Bruyne is going to be firing. Lukaku is, I would say, proving to everyone that he is someone that you should be looked at the same level as the Lewandowskis and the Kanes and the Benzemas of the world. He's saying, look, I don't know if you've seen the quote. He said he was saying that people mention Kane, Benzema, and Lewandowski, these people in one bracket, and then say I need another season for people to say that I'm on that level. And he's proving right now he's on the same level as top quality centre forwards in this continent at the moment. So we'll see. I think Belgium. Yeah, I think Belgium as well.
I'm really intrigued. I'm happy that Arsenal, not Arsenal, England won tonight.
I'm happy too.
Do you think because I know Simon. If you don't know, I'm part of the.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Simon says Ukraine are with Sweden are winning. I think Ukraine have an underrated team as well, you know.
I agree with you. I think with Yarmolenko, Zinchenko, they have a very good set of players with them. And I wouldn't, if I'm Sweden, I like Isak, I like Forsberg, I like Olsen. I do like some of their players, but I wouldn't look past that team. But I think that's a game of attrition. I think that it's going to be, if it's Sweden, it's going to be Isak dominating and playing out in transition. And if it's going to be Ukraine, then they're going to have a good team effort that revolves around Yarmolenko, because Yarmolenko is showing that he's with the international environment, he can still be a real player on the stage.
Same. I think another player we haven't talked about is how good of a tournament. I think we didn't. I didn't hear you say it from you yourself. How good of a tournament Jack is having? I didn't
Sorry,
actually
you,
hear.
you cut out for a second.
I didn't. I said I wanted to get your opinion on the tournament Jack is having, and does it
Xhaka?
because I didn't hear it from you. Yeah, yesterday.
No,
we
no, no.
talked about it.
Yeah. So with the Xhaka stuff, look, there's he's having a very good tournament, but there's going to be tournament form and his role at our club. They're two completely different things. I think that he's having an excellent tournament. I think he's the only reason why the Swiss are still in this tournament. And he's showing that if you put him around in the right system and you put him around the right people, he can be a force. And if he goes to Italy, which it looks like he will thrive there. But what I don't want to hear from Arsenal fans, and I don't want to hear from other people, is that look at what a player we let go, because he's been here since Wenger was here, and we've given him a chance, and he hasn't been at the level that I don't think we need in our pivot. He's too prone to mistakes. He's too prone to get to rash tackles, and he's too prone to disciplinary issues in terms of what happened at Crystal Palace or the. I just think it's okay sometimes to say that look, you're a quality player, but the situation at this club is not right for you. I think it's okay to have that distinction.
Okay, that's fair enough. Another annoying thing about I just remembered. Another annoying thing about England going further delays the Ben White deal.
Yeah, I mean,
He'll come eventually.
he'll come eventually. I feel like with the Ben White stuff, I think that people are getting annoyed with the lack of speed in our movement in the window. And whilst I can understand that, people have to realize that there is a whole tournament happening right now with players that are in this tournament that again, it's not like players can just freely come jet home and jet back. There's still pandemic measures in effect. The moves are not easy to make. How many moves have we seen? I was discussing this earlier with Alex. It's like I think it's just Konate that's been announced. Am I
And that was
missing anyone?
before the Euro started.
Has anyone apart from has that Daka deal from Leicester been announced yet?
No, it hasn't. And the Samari. And Samari
Well,
either.
No, Samara is obviously. We don't even know if that's going to happen anymore because it's just been 6 weeks.
And they haven't announced anything.
Haven't announced it. So
that's quite worrying. Well, not for Arsenal. Not for.
I mean, I was saying earlier. I think that if the deal, because what the reports have said is that the deal was done in April. So my guesses is that he was told, look, we're going to get Champions League football, and and everything will be fine. This is the contract we'll offer you. This is what we're going to do with you, and this is how you're going to play. And he was like, yeah, perfect. Champions League football, I'm all on board. And then they didn't get Champions League football, and then it kind of just fell apart. And it's been, and people are saying it's done, and it's just I just don't see it being done.
Do you know what? I have that similar theory that Leicester probably guaranteed him Champions League football, so his contract was attributed to that reason. So Leicester offering him the contract purely basis on the fact that they were gonna qualify for the Champions League. But now that they haven't qualified for the Champions League, they're probably trying to restructure that contract or the personal terms, and maybe that's why it's taking so long or something like that.
So
that's why
I personally just don't know what's going on, to be honest. Like I think that you're right. I think there was some promises of Champions League that were made, and that is what's happening. Who knows what the actual situation on the ground is at the moment? We'll see. We'll just have to see.
So thanks, mate, for having me.
Yeah, no worries. I'm gonna check off as well. I'm gonna quickly do some other things.
It's another
thank you for coming on. It's a pleasure.
It's another collab of all things football and balls over passion.
Yeah,
I'd love to have you on my channel as well.
No problem. Just message me. We'll sort it out. Not anytime.
All right. Thank you.
No problem.
All right. See you.
See you later. Bye. All right. Well, that is everything from us today. Appreciate everyone for tuning in, and we'll see you soon. And hopefully everyone has a great day and have a great night and celebrate this England win. I don't know if it's coming home. I hope it does, and we'll leave it at that. Good night.